Yo, what's good, trainers? All right, so officially we have gotten to 100 subscribers. So happy. I have been wanting to reach 100 subscribers for a really long time, and I'm happy that now that I've decided to really consistently put out content, that my efforts have been paying off a little bit, and that y'all have been enjoying the content, and um, I've reached 100 subscribers as a result, and so that makes me really happy. So today we're going to be going over the entire set of Brilliant Stars and ranking every single one. I have been wanting to do this video for a while, but wanted to get the setup completely right. So as you should see, I think I have a pretty good setup here. I have Grottle over in the corner, my face obviously, and then the ranking where I have every single card from Brilliant Stars, which honestly, when it's in this format, doesn't look as daunting as there's 151 cards, which is kind of fitting for 151 Pokemon, at least back in the day in Generation 1. So anyways, this video is probably going to be pretty long, so we should just get into it. But let me make this... Okay, we're back at Execute. Perfect. We're just going to go through these one by one. Brilliant Stars is a really good set, and so this is going to be interesting for sure. If I don't pick your favorite card as being S tier, I apologize. Let me have it in the comments. Sure, let me have it. Let me know what you think is wrong, because this is entirely my opinion. So if you think a card might be A tier and I put it in the B tier, tell me why. I want to hear about it. And then also subscribe, because you know what the next milestone is? 200 subscribers. So let's get into it. All right, so Execute. Oh, I guess I should just discuss the tiers as well. We're gonna have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, aka I think D tier is also gonna be it's good in a pre-release. So if you're in limited format and you need you need to play some card, this will be good in the pre-release, but probably nothing beyond that. C is gonna be anything that you'd be really happy to have in a pre-release. Basically any Pokemon B. B is gonna be slightly better than C. Not bad. Pretty niche. Maybe some more gimmicky stuff. Gimmicky stuff might go in C, but B will be almost good. Good, but just needs something else to give it a little extra oomph. A is very good. This is a good card. And then S tier is this is a maybe not necessarily has to be a meta defining card, but is gonna be played in a lot of decks competitively, and just contributes a lot to the format. So then we've also got unevolved Pokemon. So Execute, first off, going in the unevolved section. And we've got Exeggutor, Mega Drain, Seed Bomb. This is a very bad card. This is going in the trash tier. Unfortunate. Sorry, Exeggutor. You look kind of cool, but Shroomish, very cute. Oh my god, there's even a little Wooloo in the background. I didn't even notice that. So the nice thing about this setup is we're going to get to see all the art too. Headbutt going in the unevolved category. All right, then we've got Breloom. Spore Ball for 30 and Powdery Uppercut. You can use this attack only if this Pokemon used Spore Ball during your last turn, so you get to do 130 for 1, but you have to use one of Breloom's other attacks, which leaves it open and in the active spot, leaving it open to get knocked out. And then even if you do successfully not get knocked out, and maybe your opponent stays asleep from Spore Ball and you get lucky, then you're only doing 130 damage. So it's not very good at all, but I'd be happy to have this in a pre-release. There's not a lot of switching cards in pre-release. That's a big thing. So not bad in pre-release. D tier for sure. Then we got Tropius, Curative Bower. When this first got released, I was really happy, or the Japanese scans first got released without translations. I was happy to see a Tropius with an ability, because I'm very fond of the old Dragon Frontiers Tropius. That is a pretty cool Tropius that had a neat Pokepower that I think removed damage counters and also shockwave counters, or the Gardevoir Delta species placed in prison markers, so got rid of that. Anyways, cool format in 2007-ish era. So maybe I'll do some videos on that in the past. But anyways, this Tropius is not very good at all. It says all of your Pokemon that have grass energy attached can't be confused, and they recover from confusion if they are confused. It's kind of just a waste of an ability. Confusion's not very popular, and even if it was, you could just switch or retreat. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's definitely not playing, you know, basing your deck around grass energy. Maybe if you're already playing grass energy, no, this is still not worth it. A whole space in your deck, bad. Trash, unfortunately. Got Turtwig, very cute. It's going to go in an unevolved. Grotle with Sundrent Shell, very good card. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand. This can be an entire engine on its own, right? It searches for itself, which searches for itself, which searches for itself. So you can get, with one Grotle, you get 4 Grotles. Like, that's insane. And so, based on, like, you know, how good Torterra is, depends a little bit more on Grotle. But Grotle by itself, I mean, honestly, I'm putting it in the A tier. It's a really good card. You might even see it played without Torterra sometimes, just in some grass Pokemon decks. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So very good card, honestly. It could be better if it had like 90 HP. 2 retreat cost would also make it better. So it could be in the B tier potentially too, since you can't level ball or rescue carrier it. But I feel okay with A tier, I think. And no, let's put it in the B tier actually, because it's not played in a whole lot of decks, but it could be an engine all on its own. It's a very good card still. Then we've got Torterra. 190 HP. I know I especially hyped this card out when it first got released. Hyped this card up when it first got released. Evo Press 50 times each evolution card you have in play. So that means it maxes at 300 damage if you have 6 evolution Pokemon in play. It does have a grass colorless requirement, which is kind of hard to achieve sometimes. You need 2 attachments unless you're playing something like Rillaboom, which can accelerate grass energies. Or something like the new Gardenia supporter that's coming out. That might be good with this as well. Especially when you have Choice Belt, you can hit 330. You could be knocking out some Pokemon VMAXs. The problem is it requires a lot of setup, and it's probably getting one-hit KO'd in return. So, that being said, I'm probably going to put this... in B tier? Yeah, I'll put it in the... I think I'll put it in the B tier for now. I think it'll eventually be good. I think it has the potential to be good. You get to hit 300 damage. That's really good. I think it just needs a little extra oomph, unfortunately. I got Burmy, unevolved. Fortunately, then we've got Wormadam. Matron's Anger. This attack does 10 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. A very good effect. We saw this on the Vespiquen from Ancient Origins that did 20 plus 10 for every Pokemon in your discard pile. Also with the Flareon from Plasma Freeze. Also had the Vengeance attack. Unfortunately, when those 2 Pokemon were in format, Pokemon maxed out at 180 HP, and I guess if you counted Megas, which were not all that played a whole lot, besides like Mega Manectric, I mean, they still capped at about 210, 220. Now, it's almost gone up. HP of Pokemon has almost gone up by, you know, double, or 50% of that. So now Pokemon have like 330 HP. So getting a buff from 20 plus 10 to 30 plus 10, that extra 10 damage is really not, I think, sufficient enough to keep up with the power creep. So unless you're hitting for weakness, which we'll probably see with the other Wormadams and make those cards a little bit better, it's just really, it's not getting there, unfortunately. I think it could potentially be good if we get something like Battle Compressor back, but without anything like that, maybe in Expanded, it's also good. But unlike Vespiquen, where Vespiquen had 90 HP and Free Retreat, this doesn't. So, I'm probably gonna put this. I think it's gonna be in the B tier. I think it's solid. I don't know. I might switch these around because I'm getting a feel for all these. Let's put it in the B tier for now. Okay, moving on to Mothim. 30 plus 90 if you evolved into Burmy. It's a stage 1. Can hit 120 if you attach a DTE. It does 100. Has free retreat cost. It's not like terrible. 120 for like when you have access to double turbo is not bad. I guess would I use it in a pre-release? Sure. It does something, you know. It does. It's not bad. 120 for it's pretty energy efficient, so I'll take it. Then we've got a Cherubi without Cherim in this set. I realized there's no Cherums in this set. They just gave us a Cherubi. It has Lively Fruit. It's fine. You can play it in your Cherum deck, and it'll give you a little extra something, I guess. Then we've got our first Vs and V-Stars, Shaman V and Shaman V-Star. So let's see. So Shaman V, 190 HP, has Revenge Blast. That's mainly the attack you'll be using. 60 plus 40 for each prize card your opponent has taken. So this is much better than like the old Shaman EX that was in format. But like I said, power creep has been pretty steadily increasing. So Revenge Blast, 60 plus 40. So if your opponent's taken one prize, you're doing 100, 140, 180, 220, 260. So you max at 260, 290 with the Choice Belt. You're KOing Pokemon V-Star, I guess. If you play Inteleon, you could be doing a little bit extra damage as well. You also get access to the V-Star. And so that Revenge Blast is doing a lot as well, and you get the V-Star power. The HP is a little lacking, but I think these are solid B-tier cards, both of them. I think they're solid cards, but they need extra support in order. Like, they can't be a deck on their own. That's for sure. Okay, and we got Carablast, Uninvolved. Next up, Zarude V. Zarude V, I don't know what to think about it, because I actually really like this card. Leap to Leap, the 30 and 30 snipe, has been a consistently good attack anytime that attack has been printed on a Pokemon in the Pokemon TCG. It's been good for specifically for a 1 energy attack. Hammerhead Landorus EX, Jet Punch Buzzwole GX. Now we have it again in Zarude V, but it has a really good second attack too, with Jungle Rage doing 240 to any Pokemon V. So you are a little bit shy of KOing Pokemon V-Star. If you attach a Choice Belt, you're doing 270. So you're not one-hit KOing Arceus, unfortunately. But I think with the new Kricketune that's coming out too is going to give this a little extra oomph. Give it 40 more HP, so it'll have 260. You could attach a Cape of Toughness, and then you're getting 310 HP on his Zarude V that can spread damage, soften things up, and then hit with Jungle Rage for a lot of damage. I think this is actually a very good card, and is gonna see play next format too. Once we get more grass support, like with the Gardenia, with the Kricketune, Hisuian Lilligant. I don't know if you'll play that necessarily with this card, maybe. But I think this is gonna be a really good card. So don't sleep on this card. I'm gonna put it. I think I'm going to put it in the A tier, considering what's coming out. Maybe that's cheating a little bit, but I think with the support that it's going to be getting, this is a solid card. Okay, so next up, we've got Charizard V. Charizard V, the V on its own is not great. I'm going to put this in C tier. It's not even as good as the Shaman V. The Shaman V can at least, like, do a lot of damage for an efficient attack cost. Charizard V is doing... Oh, hiccup, sorry. Charizard V is doing 180 with Heat Blast for 4 energy. That's not very good. The only reason you would play this is for the Charizard V-Star. With Explosive Fire, so you're doing 230 if it has any damage counters on it. Has 280 HP, which is respectable. Can buff its HP even more with things like Heat Energy. I guess that's it. Heat Energy. Star Blaze is also a very good attack. It is your V-Star power, and you do have to discard 2 energy. But when you have things like Magma Basin and you're KOing a Pokemon VMAX, this is pretty good. Granted, Pokemon VMAXs are becoming less and less popular in the current format. So I'm debating between like B tier and A tier. I think this probably... Is this as good as these Pokemon? Is it better? The problem is Suicune is really good. I think I'm going to put it in the B tier for now, but I wouldn't hate seeing it in the A tier either. Okay, next we've got Magmar. Unvolved. Then we've got Magmortar. With Mega Punch and Bolt Explosion, if Electivire is on your bench, this attack does 120 more damage, so you do 240 for 3 energies, and you need the you need the Electivire on your bench. That's honestly not that hard to achieve, considering they're both stage 1s, but it's gimmicky. Do I want it in the C tier? 240? That's not terrible. And you have Magma Basin. 240 and with the Choice Belt. Like, it's gimmicky, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, you know? Like, it's definitely better than Motham and Braden. Okay. Then we've got Moltres. Solid card, honestly. It's not the same as the Zapdos from Team Up, which also did 90 damage for 1 energy, but that Zapdos had access to things like Electro Power. It was also in an Ultra Beasts format, which made single prizers a lot better because you could force your opponent to go down to like 3 prize cards, 4 prize cards, activate Beast Ring, things like that. So I don't think this card is nearly as good as Zapdos was. I know a lot of people were comparing the two, but I think it's a good card. I'll put it in the B tier. I like it. Doesn't hit for weakness, which kind of sucks. Does 90 damage. Choice Belt does 120. Can be charged up with Magma Basin, so you don't have to use your energy attachment for the turn on it. That being said, it does need to be it pretty much has to be attached to it with Magma Basin if you're gonna get the effect. So I think B tier is fine. Then we've got Entei V. Entei V is really good. I love this card. Burning Rondo, Blizzard Rondo, Lightning Rondo. Those are all very good energy efficient attacks that change the way your opponent has to play. So whenever you have cards like that are forcing your opponent to play around certain things, you're making them think more. You're making them have to go about a route to victory, or essentially create an alternative route to victory, right? If they could just play all their Pokemon down willy-nilly, then it would make it much more easy for them to win. So you're forcing them to do something that is suboptimal to play around your card. So simply by playing Entei V or Suicune or Riko, you're forcing your opponent into a suboptimal position. They could choose to not play around Entei at all, and so they could just play as many Pokemon as they want. But then Entei's now doing a lot of damage. So it's kind of a win-win. You're either doing a lot of damage or forcing your opponent into a suboptimal position. And so I love this style of attack. I think it's very cool. It's energy efficient. And on top of that, has 230 HP, which is very good for a Pokemon V. We typically see 210 or 220 is the most common. And you get Fleet-Footed, which is a nice consistency ability. It's not the best ability, but, I mean, I'll take a free card. Sure, why not? This is going to be an active position anyways, usually, if I'm attacking with it. So I think this is a solid A tier card. It's also very splashable. You can play it in a lot of different box decks, since it only needs 1 fire energy. And if grass gets very popular, then this is a nice counter to those grass types. So I like it. Okay, then we got Torkoal, Fire Breathing, Guard Press. This is a trash card if I've ever seen one. It's very bad. Sorry if you're a Torkoal fan. Sorry, Flannery. We got Chimchar. Look how cute he is. With these little pineapple berries and his Pecha and Nana berries. Bluckberry. I wonder if I can name all these. Custap Berry, I think. Shuckaberry? And anyways. Chilonberry? I could be wrong. Let me know. Let me know how wrong I am. Then we got Monferno, Uninvolved. And Infernape. This is an interesting card because it is technically better than some of these kind of cards that we've seen in the past. So there was Typhlosion from Lost Thunder, I think. Shoot, now I'm gonna want to look it up. Typhlosion. I should do a video on how I look up cards on PokemonCards.com too. If you haven't used PokemonCards.com, it's so good for looking up whatever you want. Oh no, it's not the Lost Thunder Typhlosion. What is it? Ah, haha. It's the Breakthrough Typhlosion. Massive Eruption. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 80 damage times the number of energy cards you discarded. So this is basically that, the Infernape, except instead of just discarding the cards flat off, you discard the energy cards only and shuffle everything else back. So you're basically thinning the energy out of your deck. So that's not. So this is an upgrade in that regard. So you don't have to like discard your energy recyclers or discard your supporter cards or your Pokemon lines. You get to just pick the energy and shuffle everything back, which is nice. However, I don't know if that's good enough because you have to build the whole deck around lots of energy in the deck. And so that's just going to make you inherently inconsistent. So, and let's think about the math too. So let's say you hit 5 energies, which is best case scenario, which is not going to happen a whole lot if you still want your deck to be consistent. I guess you could play 4-4-4 Infernape and all of the rest energies, but still, you're not always going to hit 5 energies on each Infernal Vortex. So you'll do, what, 400 damage with Infernal Vortex? So if you hit 4 fire energies, you're doing 320, which is enough to KO most things. If you have Choice Belt, then you're KOing everything pretty much. I guess not a Drought on the Big Charm, but if you hit 3, then you're doing, what, 80, 160, 240 with a Choice Belt, 270. So you're just shy of KOing Arceus V-Star. And then it just gets worse as you go down. So the math, I think, is just not worth building your entire deck around this thing. So I'm just going to put it in the pre-release. I think it's fine for pre-release. You're usually going to be playing a lot of energy and things like in that kind of format. So it's fine there. And it's energy efficient. Okay, Simisear V, Bursting Power. You may attach 2 basic energy cards from your hand. This card's pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. I think if this card was printed in a previous format, it would be good. Obviously, 210 would be really good, but Bursting Power is not bad. You can attach 2 basic energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. It's energy acceleration, and you do 20 damage. Sure. Especially if you could attack turn 1, this would be really good. But you can't do those things. So, and Flare Juggling is pretty bad. So I'm unfortunately going to have to put this in C tier. Not great, but hey, I'd be happy to have it in a pre-release. It'd be very good in a pre-release. Incredible. Pretty much all the Pokemon V are going to be pretty good in pre-release. Okay, so Kingler V, Falling Bubbles. Flip a coin if heads, search your deck for 5 water energy. Attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Raging Pinsir does damage to itself. Kingler V Max is pretty much the same exact thing, but removes the coin flip on Falling Bubbles and still does 30 damage to itself and buffs, I guess, does you do 40 more damage. Not a great buff, honestly. Bubbles Galore is probably the only reason that you're going to use this card. And even then, I mean, do you want to use your VMAX to be setting up your Pokemon? Not really. If your VMAX gets hit, I mean, you're going to get the game's halfway over if this thing gets knocked out. And then, I mean, you could say, okay, well, it has 330 HP, which is pretty good, so I'm going to share all the damage off of this thing. I mean, you just searched your deck for energy and attached them to your Pokemon, so do you really want to Cheryl? I mean, and discard all the energies? Probably not. Max Pinsir is also 240. Maybe if it was 250, it would be good enough, because you could 1-hit KO Arceus with a Choice Belt. But these are just, like, they're just not good enough, unfortunately. They're going in the C tier. They're about as good as the rest of these cards, I think. Yeah, you just don't want to be using your VMAX to be setting up, to be accelerating energy. Like, at least Arceus V-Star is sure using your Pokemon V to accelerate energy, but you're also doing 200 damage. Like, you're not doing nothing with your turn like this is. Okay, so what's next? Staryu, Uninvolved. Easy. Lapras, Raging Freeze. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack, then they're paralyzed. That's not very good. They can just switch out of it. It's a little bit too specific, I think, to be good. I'm going to put it in... is that good in pre-release? 3 energies. I guess your 1-hit can... It doesn't. I'll put it in the... Sure. For any Lapras fans, you're welcome. Put it in the C tier. Not complete trash, I guess. You get to 2-hit KO anything. Corphish, Uninvolved. Boop. Crawdaunt, Corkscrew Punch, Crab Impact. This is a trash card if I've ever seen one. And I have. Snow Runt, Uninvolved. Piplup, Uninvolved. Primplup, Uninvolved. Alright, Empoleon. Emergency Surfacing. If it's in your discard pile and you have 0 cards in your hand, you can just resurrect this thing and then draw 3 cards. Problem is, you have to... so it's nice to, like, get the 3 cards, sure, if you have a dead hand. If you have specifically no cards in your hand. Which is not going to happen a whole lot. So you get to draw 3 cards. The problem is, then you have to have this Empoleon on your bench. And it has 2 retreat cost. And its attack is not great. It's energy efficient, I guess. Attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's nice snipe, but Manaphy's in the format. I mean, this is not great. This is a pretty bad card. I'll put it in D tier because it's better than these trash cards, that's for sure. Okay. Weasel. Uninvolved. Floatzel. Floatify. I'm totally biased towards this card because this is like Junk Hunt Sableye, except it's a stage 1, which is bad, but then you can play the Zoroark from Evolving Skies with it, which makes it kind of good. I think I'm going to put this in the B tier. Will probably be in many a control deck I could see. So, once we get some better item cards. Lumineon V, A tier, for sure. This is a very good card. The fact that you can turn your Quick Balls and your Ultra Balls into consistency cards, and also now an expanded, like Dive Ball, turns into a consistency card. Just grab your Lumineon V and grab a supporter, is really good. It would probably be S tier if this was just a Lele reprint, and 170 HP was what it used to be. But it's not. It is pretty much a sitting duck on your bench if it gets bossed. The game is now a third of the way over because you played this card. So that's not great, but the ability is so good. It's so good. It saves you from dead drawing. It potentially saves you from losing a game to dead drawing. And so if it can help you in even just like, 10 to 20% of your games, that's really good. Okay, so A tier. Aqua Return is also not bad. You can prevent it from being a liability and do 120 damage, and it's kind of useful with, like, you just need an energy attachment and a DTE. Not as good as Lele, that's for sure, but still a solid card. Manaphy. Prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. This is a solid card. We've been waiting for it. Jolteon was very good before this card came out, and Jolteon's still not bad. And Rapid Strike Urshifu is still not bad, but the fact that we have so much snipe in this format, and we've been really missing bench barrier. So this is not S tier by any means, but I feel happy putting it in A tier. I think it is a very good card. The fact that you get to prevent your opponent from taking multiple prize cards if you're playing a single prize deck is really good. You're preventing your opponent from winning quicker, and so you get to slow them down. It's pretty much, I think, essential in any single prize deck, at least right now, when Rapid Strikers, who just won the last regionals, and people are still playing Jolteon. What other snipe is there? Those are pretty much the two big snipers, but yeah, I think this is a solid card. Cubchoo, Unevolved. Then we got Beartick. Whoa, that art is cool. It's like low polygon kind of thing. Okay, Beartick, 140 HP, sure cold. Opponent, the defending Pokemon can't attack. Pretty bad, but because the opponent can usually just switch. But in pre-release format, it's not bad. 140 HP is sizable. Do 130, KO most things, and you can set up for KOs with sure cold. And then they have to evolve or switch or retreat. Ice-Q. Ice-Q. I love penguins, but Ice-Q, unfortunately, you're not great. Block Sliders, attack does 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each Fusion Strike energy attached to all of your Pokemon. And then Icicle Missile. We're just not going to talk about Icicle Missile. Block Slider does 160 snipe. If you have like a telescopic sight, I guess you get to do 190. You could KO benched Genesect V, benched Mew V. Honestly, KOing benched Mew V is pretty good. But you need to have a telescopic sight. You need to have 4 Fusion Strike energy play. So, like, that's the problem, right? 160 snipe is good. gets worse when Manaphy's in format. But you need to have 4 Fusion Strike energy in play. Like, would you rather, if you have 4 Fusion Strike energy in play, would you rather be sniping 160 or hitting for 280 damage with Meloetta? Probably 280 damage. Also, Power Tablets don't affect Ice Cube because Power Tablets only work for the active Pokemon. So this doesn't even get to have the benefits of Power Tablet unless you're hitting the active, which if you're hitting the active, just be attacking with Meloetta. So this is C. No, it's so bad. It's really, really bad. I wouldn't even play it in a pre-release. I feel bad putting it in trash tier because it's still a Fusion Strike Pokemon. I'll put it in C tier. It's fine. Okay, then we've got Raichu V. Fast Charge. If you go first, you can use this and attach a Lightning Energy to Raichu V. It's cute. It's something to do if you go first. What else are you going to do if you go first? And you start Raichu. The real thing here is Dynamic Spark. 60 times each Lightning Energy that you discard from your Pokemon. So it's like Alcremie VMAX, which has seen success in the past. But now, I mean, Raichu has, and the Lightning type in general, has Flaffy. So now you have some actual acceleration to fuel Dynamic Spark, and it's a basic Pokemon, not a Pokemon VMAX. So it does have 200 HP. I wish they gave this thing free retreat. That would make it so good, so much better. But I'll put it in the B tier. I think this is a solid B tier Pokemon for sure. Electabuzz Uninvolved. Oh, no, my tier list is going to get big. Electivire, Explosive Bolt. If any of your bench Magmar have damage counters on them, which they probably will because of Magma Basin, then you get to do 120 for 1 Lightning. You're going in the same tier as Magmar. You're just kind of gimmicky, not great. You get to hit for Lightning weakness, which is kind of cool. And you have access to Magmortar. This is pretty bad. This is not as good as the Magmortar. Magmortar's cooler. Okay. Riko V. Same kind of logic that I had with Entei V, right? Entei V forces your opponent in suboptimal positions, otherwise you do more damage. Has consistency. And so Riko is the same thing, but for the Lightning type. You get an energy efficient attack. You could potentially hit lightning. You can hit lightning weakness with this. You get to use things like Flaffy. In Expanded, you get Skyfield, you get Electro Power, you get Thunder Mountain, all the lightning type support. You do have 1 retreat cost and 200 HP. Again, I wish, honestly, if you have 200 HP, just give them free retreat. I don't know. That's what I think. Mew V gets free retreat. Why not give freaking more things free retreat? You're afraid of them being broken? Riko V's not gonna be broken if you give it free retreat. Anyways, solid A tier. Good A tier card for sure. Okay, then we've got Shinx. Oh, it's so cute. Luxio. I want to see the art on these now. What is that supposed to be? It almost looks like an amazing Luxio. Anyways, okay. Luxray. Energy Crush, 50 times each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Flash Impact. Wait, that attack sounds so familiar. Wait, Tapu Koko GX. Is this just like Prime? Oh my god, yeah. This is. Look at this power creep. I didn't think I was crazy. Tapu Thunder GX. This attack does 50 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. This is on... Okay, granted, it's on a basic Pokemon instead of a Stage 2. But this was a good attack. It was 3 energies, and it was your GX attack. So you only got to use it 1 time. I guess you did get Arrow Trail also. So, okay. Kind of different. But now they just printed that GX attack. If you just take the GX attack 1 for 1, this is that GX attack. Which is kind of silly, like looking at them side by side. 3 energies, 1 energy. 50 times, 50 times. Anyways. Luxray is still not very good. Flash Impact, kind of cute. Calling back to the old Luxray GL level X. Does 30 damage when it's almost the exact same attack. 1 lightning, it's energy efficient. Probably good in pre-release. Sure, why not? Pachirisu, Wind Up Thunder. 30 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to all your Pokemon. It's good with the Honchkrow V that came out in this set. Even if you don't have Honchkrow V, you can still do 180 damage. Which kills most things weak to lightning. So it's not bad. I think it's C tier for sure. It's not bad. I don't think I want to put this in the. I don't think I want to put Pachirisu in the B tier. I think that you could do a lot of damage, but you need the Honchkrow V. Like on its own, Pachirisu is C tier for sure. So I'm just gonna go with that. Clefairy, Clefable, Clefable, Moonlit, Miracle. Flip 3 coins, choose a number of Pokemon in play, and evolve them. Just search for the Pokemon and evolve them. I mean, I guess this makes it so that you can evolve when it's your turn again. So like, but you have to evolve into the Clefable. Maybe if this was a basic Pokemon, it would be good. But you can only use this attack your turn 2. Then, if you have a basic Pokemon, you use this on it, evolve into stage 1. Then when it comes back into your turn, then you can evolve into the stage 2. So it's kind of like a rare candy because you bypass the turn you need to wait to evolve basic to stage 1, and the turn you need to wait. Like, you're basically waiting 2 turns for the price of an attack. If that makes sense. But you're using a stage 1. I don't know. This is pretty bad, I think. Trash? Is it trash? I think it's trash. I guess. Is this good in Torterra? Is this good in Torterra? You get to flip 3 coins and evolve into like your Grottles, then evolve them all into Torterras the next turn. Wait, hold on. Is this good? I don't think this is good. But it's it counts as an evolution Pokemon for Torterra. I'm gonna put it in the CD. This is probably not good. But hey, if any of you want to play, oh my god, where's Torterra? If any of you want to play Clefable with Torterra, that's gonna be our next video. Do it. Please do it. That'd be so sick. There's no room in that deck, but it would be cool. Okay. Starmie, Psychic, bad. Power Gem. As for Retreat, 90 HP. Attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you're doing what, like 100 for one? It's trash. You're trash, kid. Mewtwo, Life Sucker, Cyburn. Life Sucker is what I want to do after looking at this card. Granbull V. Chomp. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Bull Dash for 190. This card's pretty bad. It's Psychic and weak to Metal, which is nice. But Chomp is not great. You're probably going to get one-shot a lot of the time, at least in the current standard format. Then you get to do, what, 30 plus, like, let's say they do 180. Well, also, no one's going to hit your Granbull for, like, 180. Unless they're killing you. So you get to do, even if, let's say, you get hit for 180, you get to hit back for 30 plus 180, so 210. That's not great. And then you just die the next turn. So that's, like, best case scenario. This is really bad. Maybe in pre-release format, there's no way it's as good as, like, Kingler or, like, Ice Skewer. No, this is pretty much only, I would only ever use this in a pre-release, I think. I wouldn't even use, it's not even, the second attack is so bad. 190, you get to do 220, you're softening yourself up to die, and you're investing 3 energies into it with no real good energy acceleration in the standard format. Even if you played it in like Shadow Rider V, no, I'm not gonna talk about that card anymore. It's bad. Baltoy, Uninvolved. Claydol. Ooh, that looks like the old Team Magma art from Team Magma, the Team Magma Claydol. I'm not gonna go look at it, but it's cool. Spinning attack and coinciding figures. If you and your opponent have the same number of bench Pokemon, this deck does 90 more damage. 180 for 3 is not great, and although that condition is not the hardest to achieve, it's not worth it. This is trash. Certified trash. Duskull, Uninvolved. Dusclops is actually it's just. I was gonna say it's a stage 1 that you can get out with Zoroark, so it will be played, but it doesn't. You can go in Uninvolved. Dusknoir, special transfer. You can move special energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. I don't think this is that great. It's not as good as like the Porygon Z, right? The Porygon Z kind of saw some play with Blissey. Oh, not that one. Crazy Code Porygon Z kind of saw some play with Blissey at the end of last format. But but like Recycle Energy was in play. Like, what can you use this Dusknoir for? You can move double turbos. You can move Aurora Energy. I don't think there's even that many good special energies coming out for this to use. Yeah, no, not really. I think without any like good special energies coming out in the near future, this is not very good. I'm still gonna put it in the C tier because it's better than any of these cards. But it actually would not be good in a release because you wouldn't be able to. I mean, you're probably not gonna get special energies to even move. Trimeco, search your deck for 2 special energy cards. Put them into your hand. Special energy search is kind of useful, but we have like peers and stuff, so there's no reason to play this card. Whimsicott V, Fluff gets in the way. If the defending Pokemon is basic Pokemon, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. That's not terrible. We're in an evolution format, so it's not great. This would have been better when like Big Basics was popular, but like Landorus EX and Big Basic type decks were good, but when there's V-Stars and V-Maxes, not great. Cotton Guard does 90 damage and not great either. You'd basically play this for the Whimsicott V-Star. Has Trick Wind, which is honestly really good. Against Fusion, this is nice. They can't attach their special energies. You can clog their hand full of stuff. Make them draw less with Genesect. Force them to use like things like Alesa. However, if they have Oricorio in play, you're not two-shotting them. You need the Choice Belt. So the damage is a little lackluster there. It is nice that it can take double turbo. So you can power it up with 2 energy attachments. Not bad. And Fluffball Star is honestly pretty good. If you have 3 energies on it from Trick Wind, you're sniping 180. So that's not bad. Manaphy is in format again, but it's honestly pretty good. I think the reason you would want to play this is like the lock isn't strong enough to build entirely around Whimsicott, right? You might want to just like have this alongside something like Arceus V-Star, which we saw I think in Brazil or something, and then using Fluffball Star, because that Fluffball Star can start doing a lot of damage really quickly and snipe wherever you want. So I'm gonna put this in the B tier. I think that's pretty close to the same power, same like goodness level as the rest of these. Sigilyph, try recharge. This is pretty trash. Attach any number of basic energy cards. It's a 110 basic Pokemon, so no, it's still gonna be trash. It's not even cool in pre-release. Dede Flash, Verona is terrible. That is absolute trash. Cool art though. Okay, Mimikyu V with Dummy Doll. We've already seen this before. Jealous Eyes, put 3 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. You get to do 150 if you're about to lose. Dummy Doll is kind of cool. I've been wanting to maybe do something with this. Like you could like Acerola loop with Mimikyu V and expanded with like Rainbow Energies, using Acerola, activating Dummy Doll. But like Boss's Orders gets around it. And what are you doing? You're using Jealous Eyes? Like that's not really doing anything. I'm gonna go in the C tier. Mimikyu V Max, however, 300 HP, which is a little lacking. Resistance to Fighting is good. Weakness to Dark is bad, considering it's Fairy type. It's annoying. They should have made it weak to Metal. It would make this much better. Ominous Numbers is pretty good. 130 anywhere is nice. You have to play Acerola's Premonition, which is an absolutely trash card. It says look at your opponent's hand and draw a card for each trainer card. Maybe if we have like, I don't know, if there wasn't like hand disruption, maybe that Acerola's Premonition would be a little bit better. Anyways, I'm not judging Acerola's Premonition. I'm judging Mimikyu VMAX. So, Ominous Numbers, placing 13 damage counters. Even putting 4 damage counters is not bad. I considered playing this in like a lock deck, since you get to Max Shadow gets to discard random cards from the opponent's hand. Still does a sizable chunk of damage. It's kind of energy efficient. You only need 2 attachments. You can use double turbo for Ominous Numbers. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's going to go in the C tier also. Yeah, it's not as good as these cards. Yeah. Okay. And we've got Milcery, very cute. Goes in Uninvolved. Alcremie, additional order. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your turn does not end when you use Cafe Master. So this is entirely reliant on the usefulness of Cafe Master. And Cafe Master is not that great. Rainbow Flavor, though, is not terrible. 10 plus 40 for each type of basic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. No, that is pretty terrible. You get to use Double Turbo. It's good in pre-releases, I guess. Cafe Master is not good enough to ever actually play this card. Hitmontop, Spinning Draw, Cyclone Kick. You're going in trash. Nose Pass, Uninvolved. Oh my god, my tier list is getting so big. Trapinch, Uninvolved. Brava, Uninvolved. And Flygon. Okay, let's see. Flygon. Desert Pillars. Attack does 50 damage for each colorless and your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. So, basically, Leafeon VMAX, but bad. Because it's on a stage 2. You do get to use it for 1 energy. But, I mean, unless... It's not even good in pre-release format because you would want things like Galar Mine. I guess you have the new Muck. Then you have to, like, poison them first in order to increase their retreat cost. Not the new Muck. This Muck, whatever that is. If they only have 1 retreat cost, you're doing 50 damage. That's really bad. I think that's trash, unfortunately. Sorry, Flygon. Wormadam, Matron's Anger, and is fighting type, which is nice. So I think this is gonna go up here in the B tier. Same as the grass one, I think. I think dark types are becoming relevant enough to warrant playing the grass type Wormadam. And the fighting, you get to hit basically all dark types for weakness. So I think both of those are good. Morgrum, that art is terrifying. Wait, Morgrum. Wait, what happened to my Flygon? Wait, why did it skip to Morgrum? Oh, that's annoying. Oh, there we go. Okay, not sure what happened. All right, Riolu, Uninvolved. Lucario. This is an interesting card. Roaring Resolve is just like the old Charizard from Team Up. Has this exact same, well, it's not nearly as good of an ability, but exact same, I want to use this art because it's cooler. Exact same ability name. But this grabbed 2 fire energies, also put 2 damage counters, but this was stage 2 and this is a stage 1. Continuous Blaze Ball is also actually not as good as Aura Sphere Volley. If you're discarding 2 fighting... Wait, let's see. If you're discarding 2 fires here, you're doing 130. And if you're discarding 2 fightings here, you're doing 130. So actually, Lucario is a little bit better in that regard. But its Roaring Resolve only gets you 1 fighting energy card. So it's a stage 1, which is good. It's fighting type, which is good. It 1-hit KOs RCSV. But it's a stage 1, so your opponent's probably going to see it coming. But I guess you could, like, surprise factor, get it out with Zoroark, use the ability, attach a fighting energy, and 1-hit KO and RCSV start. That's kind of cool. I don't hate it. See. I do hate that I opened an Elite Trainer box for Brilliant Stars, and Lucario was the only even holo Pokemon that I pulled. No Vs, no alternate arts. So I kind of hate it for that regard. But Throw, 120 HP, does 110 damage for 3 attachments. Pretty good in the pre-release. Sock, sweep the leg. Flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It's trash. 30 max. Bad. Golett, and it's specifically from the active Pokemon. Bad. Is this music from Pokemon XD? Oh, Agate Village? Let's go. Golett. Uninvolved. Golurk. Big hand. Big hands. Look at it. He can carry boulders. This attack does 10 more damage for each card in your hand. And you get to use Double Turbo. It's kind of cute. It's nice that it's fighting type. You get to play the Melodic to prevent your hand from being disrupted. You get to do 30 plus 10 more. You need how many cards in your hand to KO stuff? 30? You need... After... Let's see. Yeah, you need like half your deck in your hand in order to win a KO stuff, unless you're hitting for weakness. This is probably not C level. This is probably D level, unfortunately. Okay, Grimer. Uninvolved. And looking at the Muck now. Sludge Street, the retreat cost of your opponent's poison Pokemon is colorless more. That is not bad. It's not good. I'm gonna. Do I want to put it in the C tier? It's probably as good as all of these Pokemon that are in the C tier. I don't hate putting that there. I think somebody could find a control use for this card. Whether that's in like expanded with Hypnotoxic Laser, or even in standard with using that and like Memory Capsule and Grimer with Poison Gas. Maybe. Could be. Sneasel, uninvolved. Weavile. Oh, this card is cool. I don't think it's good enough. Flip 2 coins. If either of them is heads, your opponent reveals their hand. Choose a card you find there and put it on the bottom of your deck. Now, if you got to discard the cards, like, I mean, what was the Cyrus's orders? Cyrus's initiative? Was this at the bottom of your deck too? Yeah, it was. All right, I'll leave it up there if anybody wants to read it. This was a very good card in a Sableye lock deck that used Cyrus's initiative in like 2010 format, I think. 2009, 2010. No, it was before. Anyways, the Weavile is Cyrus's initiative for the attack. You get things like Glimwood Tangle, so you get to re-flip if you want to, but I don't think it's good enough. Just play the Luxray V that we're getting next set. It's not very good. Is it good in pre-release? It's not even that good in pre-release because your opponent's probably just going to have energy. Energy in Pokemon. I'm not going to put it in trash. I refuse to put this in trash. I'm going to put it in C. I could see somebody playing it at some point in time. Honchkrow V. Boss's Pockets. This Pokemon may have 4 Pokemon tools attached. However, Path to the Peak shuts it down, which is not great. So I think we're going to put this... C tier, B tier. There's no way this is in the B tier. No, it's going to go C with Pachirisu. Okay, next up, Spiritomb. Ticking Terror. Change your opponent's active Pokemon's weakness to Dark, and then put 2 damage counters anywhere you want. This is pretty trash, unfortunately. Changing weakness is never very good because the opponent can just swap, just retreat their Pokemon. Purloin, Lipard, Trade. So it has Zoroark's old ability. The art is freaking amazing. It's in Gotham City. Batman, Lipard, Catman. Anyways, Slash is bad though. 60 damage. 1 retreat cost, 100 HP, so you can't level ball it. Just play Cincino, I think, for now, unless you're playing, like, Eternatus, I guess. But even Eternatus isn't playing Lipard right now, so I think it's C tier again. Nothing's in the S tier yet. I think I know exactly what's going to be in the S tier, so I'm, like, saving it for that, but... yeah, I guess... Oh, well. Impidimp. Evolved. Morgrum. Okay. Grimmsnarl. Long Hair Shot. 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each grass energy attached. Or dark energy attached to this Pokemon. I'm thinking of Delmine's VMAX. Long Hair Shot. You need 6 dark energies to do 180 damage, Snipe. You really need a lot of dark energies on this thing if you want to snipe anything for like a 1-hit KO, which is the only time it's going to be very good. And then even once you get that, it's probably going to get knocked out, and then you're going to lose all your energies. So you do have the Hydreigon, which accelerates dark energies. And so I don't think this is... No, it's pretty trash. It's bad. It's trash. Sorry, kid. Morpeko, non-run, because it's not even good in previous. Anyways, Morpeko V, non-run, 30 damage, and switch. You're doing 10 damage if you use a double turbo. Angry Spike if you play Marnie's Pride, which doesn't draw you any cards, does accelerate your energy, but you do 240, has 190 HP, no free retreat still. It's bad. That's a bad card. I kind of want to put it in trash. Would I be I wouldn't even want this in a pre-release. Because I would have to have Marnie's Pride in the pre-release. And then I would do 240. I guess doing 240 is good if you get the combo. Are you gonna get the combo? Probably not. Then you're just gonna do 120, which is not great. It's going in trash. Morpeko's bad. Agron V. Rock Slide. Do 90 and then 30-30. you have 230 HP. If Merciless Strikes, you get to do 300 damage for 5 energy, but you have things like Bronzong, you have Zacian, you have Metal Saucer. I don't think this is really that bad. Is it better than Gramble V? It's honestly better than Gramble V. You get to do 300 damage. Like, if you actually get this card to do what this card can do, you get to do 300 damage. If you get Gramble to do what it can actually do, you get to do, 240 damage? And then 230 damage. And then you die. Immediately. So, not good. Agron VMAX, Cracking Stomp, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. That's not very good. Max Takedown, 270. That's also not very good. Those are both pretty bad attacks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna put it in C tier. Yeah, you can go right there with your brethren. It could be D tier. The Agron VMAX is pretty bad. You don't even one-hit KO stuff. 270. Choice Band, you do 300. Choice Belt, you do 300. That's 5 energies. 4 retreat cost, 330 HP. Doesn't even have 340 HP. Why doesn't he have as much as Tornadus VMAX? What? Metal Wormadam. All right, let's go. Metal Wormadam. Matron's Anger, same thing we talked about with the Grass Wormadam. Scrap Drop is not what you're going to be using it for. I like this because if you played a Wormadam deck, I built a Wormadam list that kind of tried to do this strategy, but you play this with Galarian Meowth, so you get to discard Pokemon from your hand, and then you don't just have a sitting Galarian Meowth on your bench. You can evolve into Galarian Berserker. That makes your Metal Pokemon do more damage, and then you can play the Metal Wormadam and increase the damage of it. So it was kind of fun. I think Wormadam needs the extra damage buff. And Meowth gives it a little bit of extra cool consistency, but it was too clunky. Haha, metal scrap pun there. A little too clunky. But this is still gonna go in the A tier, or not the A tier, B tier, with its brethren. Okay, Probopass, Magnetic Tension, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I'm always a sucker for these kinds of attacks, but the effect isn't great. It's not good enough. You just do 20 damage to it. And you have to. It doesn't even say you may. This is trash. Iron Tackle is bad too. Trash. Heatran. Guard Claw. Iron Hammer. If it has fire energy attached, it does 160, but it needs 2 metal as part of the attack. Good in pre-releases, I guess. You build around it. Scavalier. Take 100 less damage from Pokemon V. You have 220 HP effectively, but the attack is pretty bad. This is it trash? 120 to 200. You have to do 220 damage to take 1 prize. That's kind of nice. I'm gonna put it can do stuff. It can do stuff. I'll put it in C. If someone was like, a Scavalier is so good, I broke it. It's in a control deck now. I wouldn't be that surprised. I would be surprised. I wouldn't be that surprised. Is this before? Oh, it's after. If it was before, that'd be good. Okay. Clink. Clang. And then Cling Clang. Cling Clang. Cling Clang. Gear Wall. Your basic Pokemon take 20 less damage. Wow, this is a trash card if I've ever seen one. Bad. Zamazenta V. Regal Stance. Discard your hand and draw 5. That's kind of cool. Revenge Blast is cool too. This is... I think that's B tier. Yeah, that's B tier. It has a solid attack. I mean, it literally almost has the Shaman V-Star attack. That's 120 plus 40. And so this is 120 plus 30 and 1 more energy. And you get the good ability. The fine ability. It's not great. I'm fine putting it B tier. Flygon V, Draconic Impulse. You get to do 320 for 4. And then discard 3 energies. Basically, you get to one-shot any VMAX. Take 3 prizes. When you have things like Arceus that can power it up, this is pretty good. I mean, it's not good, but it's better than all these. That's for sure. We'll see some fringe play for sure. Gibble, Garchomp, Garchomp does not have free retreat, not cash money, 160. Sonic Slip, same thing as the Mimikyu V. If you play it down, you get to prevent all damage from... Wait, all damage from your opponent's Pokemon, I should say. And effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. Till the end of your opponent's next turn. Dragon Blade, 160 for 2. Energy efficient. Not trash. Not trash. It's definitely not good by any means. Is it good? No. The stage. Axew. Is Axew flipping us off? Oh my god, Axew. I thought you were so wholesome. What did I do to you? Okay, uninvolved. Uninvolved. Axorus. Slash, Wild Axe does 30 damage to itself. 160. I'd be happy to have it in pre-release. But otherwise, Druddigon, Revenge, does 160 for 2 if anything was knocked out. Nothing's weak to Dragon, so you're not one-hit KOing anything. You're just doing 160, and you have to attach twice because it needs fire and water. That's bad. Trash. It's good in pre-release. Dracovish V, Slosh and Crash. Before doing damage, discard all Pokemon tools from your opponent's active Pokemon. If you discarded a Pokemon tool in this way, do 180 damage total for 2 energy. And you don't have weakness. You have 3 retreat, which isn't great, and Dragon Strike is not very good. I guess you get to knock out a Pokemon V, but there's such an awkward energy cost. It's as good as Simisear V, right? Simisear V is pretty bad. Dracovish is also bad, equally bad, I think. Farfetch'd. Leak Lash is kind of cute. Leak Lash, it can finish off stuff, especially if you like poke something with Arceus V-Star, do 180 or 200 damage. You can take the final KO with Farfetch'd with a double turbo on it. Leak Lash. I'm gonna put this in the B tier. I think it's fine. It's pretty good to be able to KO stuff with a 1 energy single price. Cast Form, Double Draw, and Hurricane. This is cool. It's a cool card design. Double Draw is good consistency. C tier. Hurricane, no, it's just good in pre-releases. Unfortunately, it's not good enough to play in any sort of standard deck. Then we got Starly, and Staravia, and Staraptor with Strong Breeze. Your opponent shuffles their active Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their deck. That's hilarious. Spinning Bird, 180. It's kind of funny with triple acceleration energy and expanded. It's 2 energy attachments for a double turbo and a energy to shuffle your opponent's active Pokemon into their deck. Depends how resource intensive it was to like their opponent. How many resources are on your opponent's active Pokemon, or how many resources they put into it. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's funny. Oh. Don't think we need to say anything about that. That should be obvious. B-Barrel. Oops. Oh no. B-Barrel. Ah, B-Barrel. Oh, there you go. Alright, now we're getting into the interesting decisions, right? Is this A tier or is this S tier? This is a very good card. B-Barrel gives your entire deck so much good consistency. So does Luminion. But Luminion's a liability. B-Barrel's not. I'm putting in S tier. I don't care. I think relative also to like all of Brilliant Stars, this is one of the best cards in the set. For sure. Yeah. No, S tier makes sense to me. Oh boy. Oh baby, now we're cooking with fire. They really liked the colorless Pokemon in this set. Alright, Trinity Charge, search deck for 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you like. And then shuffle your deck. So, Trinity Charge is really good to use turn 1 if you're going second. You get to use it for a double turbo, which honestly makes it better than the V-Star, depending on the context of your game. A tier for sure. I'm not going to put it in S tier. Maxes out at 130. It's good for accelerating energy. A tier, for sure. So then you get to evolve it into the Arceus V-Star. Oh, most beautiful card I've seen in a while. With Starbirth, the most insane Pokemon ability I've ever seen. Just getting to search your deck for 2 cards. It's so good. The raw consistency you get from this card is just absolutely bonkers. You get to put it with anything you want. We've seen it with Sandaconda. We've seen it with Beedrill. We've seen it with Flygon. We've seen it with... I played it with Shadow Rider Calyrex. We've seen it with Gengar. We've seen it with Malamar. We've seen it with Inteleon. Literally, the list could go on and on and on. I've seen some Arceus Charizard decks. Do I think those are good? No, but you can call them Charceus, and I like that. S tier. It's super S tier. Super duper S tier. Mincino, Buffer Family. I'm not even just going to put this in Unevolved. This is... You get the... This card is... no, it's not EG. It's not as good as RCB. Let's not get carried away. This is very good for set up single prize decks that use Cincino. You get to search your Pokemon out and then become a draw-in with Cincino. Super good. This Cincino, however, is not very good. Triple Axel is a cute nod to Cincino in the video games that has the Skill Link ability, which allows all of its multi-hit moves like Triple Axel to hit 5 times always, and it can learn that with the move tutor on the Isle of Armor, so that's kind of cute. A little fun fact for you there, but it's pretty trash in the Pokemon TCG. Tornadus Sudden Cyclone. This is reminiscent of the Hawlucha that was played in the Gardevoir EX, Mega Gardevoir EX decks. So this, oh, it's even called the same thing, Sudden Cyclone. Hawlucha, and then you played it with Gardevoir EX from Steam Siege. Mega Gardevoir EX. Despair Raid. Discard as many bench Pokemon as you like, and then do more damage based on that. So if you really wanted to, you could play this archetype again with this Tornadus and with Serena V that came out, I think, last set, right? In Fusion Strike. So you literally could play this archetype again, but it's not nearly as good. This deck does 20, plus 40 for each bench Pokemon you discard. You also don't have Skyfield. You also don't have this Giratina with Distortion Door, which made Gardevoir very good because you could just refill your bench with these Giratinas and spread damage at the same time. So, never mind. Don't build this archetype again. Serena's not good. And Tornadus is fine. C tier. I'll make it C tier. I could see you playing it for the ability. Sure. Hawlucha. This Hawlucha makes me sad because I think this Hawlucha would actually be not bad if it was not in the current format. Like, Showboating Pose is a very good attack for 1 energy on a basic Pokemon, and you get to attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to 1 of your bench Pokemon. Like, that's not bad. I mean, Mega Manectric was the same exact effect on a Mega Pokemon that you had to end your turn to evolve. Granted, you did 110 HP, or you did 110 damage and had 210 HP, but, like, I mean, it's the same effect. So I don't think this card is, like, absolute trash. I mean, it's a good effect, clearly. But it's definitely going in the C tier. It's going in the C tier. I wouldn't be surprised if someone, like, put this into their deck and was like, I'm playing this with Duraludon to charge up my Duraludon. Sure. To get around Echoing Horn that Fusion Strike plays now. Sure. Although I guess that doesn't necessarily help the Echoing Horn problem. Anyways. Drampa V, Spike Draw, and Dragon Pulse. That's pretty trash. Oh, no. Pretty trash if you... Oh, where did my Drampa V go? Pretty trash if you ask me. Drampa V, hello. Oh, there he is. That's not very good. C tier. Honestly, it's on the Grambles level. It's bad. Very bad. Ace Rolla's Premonition. I just talked about this a lot with the Mimikyu VMAX. Opponent reveals their hand, draw a card for each trainer card you find there. I mean, even if you could maybe draw 5 with this, and that's, I think, getting pretty lucky. So to draw 5, that's not bad. Most of the time, you're probably drawing 2 or 3, which is also not bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm crapping on this card more than it deserves. I think it's D for sure. If it was like shuffle all the trainer cards your opponent has in their hand and draw, is literally just gets his but better with trainer cards instead of item cards, then it would be S tier for sure. But it's not. And your opponent can also play around this card if they see that you're like playing Mimikyu VMAX. I think the only reason to play this card is for Mimikyu VMAX. So I'm just gonna put it in the E tier. That's fine. Barry. God, how do you rank such a boring card? He's unevolved. It's just so boring. It's just draw 3. It's not bad. It's good in a pre-release. Blunder policy. I wish this was just weakness policy. No, because that would make me better. Never mind. If the Pokemon on this card statue uses an attack, flip any coins, and if any of them are tails, draw 3 cards at the end of your turn. I think that's kind of cool. Especially when you have a lot of like stage 1s that rely on coin flips, like Galarian Berserker has Steely Claws, which flips 3 coins, and then has an effect. Yep. Oh my god. You have the Clefable, which flips 3 coins. You have a Sea King that's flipped 3 coins. These are all just the ones on top of my head. You have the Slurpuff that's flipped 3 coins. I mean, when you have all these stage 1s that can use Zoroark and flip coins, I don't think Blunder Policy is terrible and gives you some like extra draw, but I'm gonna put it in D tier. It's not very good. Boss's orders. I mean, was this really a surprise to anybody? It's defining. It defines an entire format. If we didn't have boss's orders in the card, people would be playing Leafeon V-Star. Like, it's insane. Okay, Cafe Master. Choose up to 3 of your bench Pokemon for each of those Pokemon search deck for a different type of basic energy card and attach it, and then your turn ends. So that last little sentence is the kicker here. Kicker, I hardly know her. Please subscribe. Choose up to 3 of your bench Pokemon. Can't even do it going first. I guess in a pre-release, maybe you're fine. Yeah, you're happy doing that in a pre-release. Sure. Charon's Care. Solid card. Solid card. We get Acerola, but with colorless Pokemon. It's hard to compare trainer cards to Pokemon cards with how good they are, but the fact that you get to deny your Pokemon prize or your opponent prize cards makes it better than all these cards. A tier. Charon's Care, A tier for sure. Choice Belt. Ah man, this is just doing more damage is always good. It's a very good card. Incredible card. Especially when Pokemon V are so popular. For sure. Cleansing Gloves, do 30 more damage to Psychic Pokemon. That's pretty trash. Just play Choice Belt. Like, why? Why play this? Ever. You can do more damage to non-Pokemon V Psychic Pokemon? Like the Dene? Don't. It's bad. Just play Choice Belt. Clap Stadium. I think I'm also going to put this in the A tier. A tier or B tier? I'm going to put a lot of these trainers in the A tier, I think. Might end up. Not having... Like, this is good against Fusion. It's good against Suicune. You also get to discard your own damaged Pokemon, denying prize cards once again. I think that's A tier for sure. Cynthia's Ambition. You get to draw until you have 8. This is better than Professor's Research at times. Like, if your Pokemon just got knocked out and there's nothing in your hand except for this card, like Malamar, like this made Malamar so much better. A tier. Not S tier. Fresh Water Set. This should not be a surprise to anybody. Friends and Galar. Freaking annoying stuff. Gloria. Basically Bridget. Except a little less flexible since Bridget got you 1 EX or 3 non-EX Pokemon. Except Bridget's now better because it grabs GXs and Vs and all those. And this one's a little bit more specific. So this one's not as good as Bridget. And you also can't play it going first, which makes it a little bit worse. But it'll probably see more play than any of these things in the C tier. So I'm going to put it in the B. Hunting Gloves. Now this is a little bit different because Dragon Pokemon don't usually have weakness. And so... No one's playing the non-V Dragon Pokemon. It's also bad. Just play Choice Belt. They made these glove cards so bad, and they printed so many of them. It's kind of annoying and kind of lazy, honestly. Like, they're not good. Like, if you're gonna print these cards that are type specific and do 30 more damage, why are you printing Choice Belt? What? This card is just light years better than all of those cards and invalidates all of these. So, Kingler, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cute if you're playing Fire Energy. Look at the top 7, put 2 of them. It's kind of like, it's just so specific, discarding the Fire Energy, and then you usually want Fire Energy in your hand so you can attach them. But I guess it does combo with Magma Basin, but you can just Quick Ball or Ultra Ball them away. Might be the first C tier. No, it's going to be played more than those. It's going to be B tier. Okay, Magma Basin. Solid card. A tier for sure. It activates a whole lot of other archetypes now. You like fire type Pokemon gets so much better because of this card. You have to now go back and look at all the old fire Pokemon and even any new fire Pokemon that's being released and put it into the context of this card, which makes this very good. It's Dark Patch. You are not, like that same style of effect, but if your opponent doesn't counter the stadium, then you get to use it again, and you do damage to yourself. But I mean, who cares? Sometimes you want that, like with Moltres. I'm not gonna put it in this tier, but A tier for sure. Marnie's Pride. Attach a basic energy card from your discard pile on your Pokemon. It's not bad. It's probably gonna be played as much as like Kingler or Gloria. B tier for sure. Pot Helmet. Rule box Pokemon take 30 less damage. Ooh, it's so cute. Why are they putting a pot on their head? I like it how Sander played this card with an Altaria and attached pot helmet to Altaria, and you just had a cute little Altaria wearing a pot on its head. It's so cute. I think this is gonna be C tier. It's very niche, but it's very niche. It's not bad. Professor's Research. This might surprise some people, but I'm not gonna put it in the S tier because actually some decks have not, like, this has not been an automatic 4 of in a lot of decks. And unlike Boss's Orders, which also hasn't been a 4 of in a lot of decks, this Professor Research does not win you the game. Boss's Orders can win you the game. So this is a much better card than Professor's Research. Professor's Research is good, but now with the amount of consistency we're getting with like B-Barrel and the Inteleon lines that we have, and Fusion having Genesect, and like Professor's Research is not as played as like Professor Juniper or Professor Sycamore was. So A tier, still good card. Roseanne's Backup, kind of cute for control decks, but getting a Pokemon and a Pokemon tool and a Stadium and an energy card, like what's that gonna get you? Not a whole lot, honestly. It is a 1-card solution. Like, you play 1 card to get 4 cards back, so it's a +3, but not to your hand, just to your deck. And it's so specific. Like, if it was shuffle any combination of Pokemon Tool, Stadium, and energy cards, then it would be amazing. It would be really good. But because it's so specific, I think it gets worse. Team Yell's Cheer. Shuffle up to 3 in any combination. This is a very good card, but while we have Palpad, it's not as good. But I'm going to, like, without the context of Palpad, it probably won't be played as much as these. I'm going to put it in the C tier also. I think it's fine, but it is a good card. It is a good card. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I think it's still a good card. I'm going to try and ignore Palpad. Like, you can get this back with Eldegoss, like Sander's shown. I think if Sander didn't do well with control in Liverpool regionals, I would put it in C tier, but since he did, it's B tier. Ultra Ball. This is an S tier card. Everyone's like putting 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball in their decks right now. And even though the 2 discard hurts, the amount of consistency you get from it, and the discard is sometimes good sometimes, I think S tier. And it combos with B-Barrel because it can lower your hand size so you can draw more. So I think S tier Ultra Ball is fine, especially in the context of this system. And then Double Turbo Energy. Man, this is a good card. That's a solid card. I mean, it's not like if this was an expanded tier list, like Double Turbo would not be S tier. But in the context of like Brilliant Stars, it's one of the best cards in the set. Fusion gets to use it, Arceus gets to use it, and those are both the best decks in the format. So, I think like this made both those decks even better. Ultra Ball made both those decks even better. Choice Belt made both those decks even better. Boss's Order is just an amazing card. B-Barrel, there's an argument for moving it down for the A tier. I like it in the S tier because it's something that the format's been really lacking. Some board presence that gives you consistency. And Arceus V-Star is just an insane card. So I think I feel happy with this list the way it is. And then this card, I mean, I don't need to explain why. That's in S tier. I should actually... There we go. Okay, now the tier list is complete. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe. Here's the whole tier list. I think I did a pretty good job. This is my first kind of video like this, and I think this is solid. I think this is a good ranking of like all the Brilliant Stars cards, and this is fun. So I think I will definitely do another video like this, probably for like more sets in the future. So leave a comment below. Let me know if you think I did anything wrong. If you think you would have put a different card in a different tier, or if you think that your favorite card didn't get enough love, let me know in the comments. And please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, as well as click the bell for notifications. I appreciate it a lot. My next goal is 200 subscribers, so that's the next goal. So thanks so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day. See you later.